Welcome, Keto friends. I'm Heather. This is What's Up Wednesday. It's 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so you know what we do over here on It Starts With the Food. We kind of break it down and break out the blog post and talk about that and anything relevant to that. So today we are talking about recovering from a long weekend. I don't know about you, but this weekend has been anything but relaxing for me. It's been a weekend of lots of food prep, lots of company, lots of cleaning, lots of pool time. So I've had fun, but I'm a little exhausted, and I'm feeling like I need a vacation from my 4-day weekend. That's not unusual. When I go on vacation, I tend to feel like I need a vacation from my vacation. So there's a couple of things that I do to help recover and to help kind of get me back on track and kind of able to tackle the rest of the week and increase my energy levels and mood and all of those things. So first and foremost, water. Water is life. Water is essential. If you've been around me at all for any length of time, you know that water is one of the most important things I talk about all the time, especially filtered water, fresh filtered water with fresh lemon juice in it. I know I'm really great usually about drinking enough water. And when I say enough water, the bare minimum that you should be drinking is half your weight in ounces. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you should be getting 75 ounces on any given day. That's not taking into account any activity, sleepless nights, alcoholic beverages, sun, stress, none of those things. So if you have had a typical holiday weekend and you're maybe lacking some of the basics, water is a great way to start. And it's easy to do if you're mindful of it. You know, adding in an extra 20 to 40 ounces of water in your day might seem like a lot, but if you have a really good water bottle, like this one right here, love this, that one is a 20-ounce water bottle. And so for me, adding in another 20 or 40 ounces just means that I'm filling up 1 or 2 times. That's it, extra. Not a big leap. It's, like I said, it's pretty easy to do. I will suggest this. It helps with, if you're having trouble sleeping, you might want to take a minute and notice to see if your heart is racing. That may be a really good indication that you're dehydrated. So water will help with dehydration, which can oftentimes look like hunger. So that can show up as hunger. Dehydration can show up as tachycardia, which is a fast heart rate. It can show up in dry skin. So there's multiple places that it can show up in, and it can never hurt to go ahead and add in extra, especially if you've, like I said, had a holiday weekend like most of us do. So water is the very first thing. And it kind of ties in with my blog post. So if you haven't read the blog post over on itstartswiththefood.com, this week I'm talking about BPA. And a lot of you might be familiar with BPA, and you might even already be looking for BPA-free products. So BPA acts as an endocrine disruptor. So it mimics estrogen, but it doesn't do it in a way that's healthy for the body. So anytime you have a plastic water bottle, like the disposable ones, so not only are you harming the planet, so like my 2 minutes of tree hugging comes in, so not only are you harming the planet by having all of these plastic water bottles all over the place, but you're also harming your body. And it's expensive. And by the way, the money that you're spending on these water bottles, you're probably not getting good water anyway. You're probably not getting anything what you think you're paying for. So get yourself and your family and your friends, like everybody that I know has a reusable water bottle. I look for, in particular, a water bottle with a straw on it, because I do drink a lot of lemon in my water, so that saves my teeth. So I've got, if you're looking for a water bottle like the one I have, over on itstartswiththefood.com, I also have a What's in Heather's Kitchen on the resource page, and there's a link to the 2 different water bottles that I have. And it also gives you a picture of what to look for, and you can go ahead and buy it at your local store if you've got it there. But if not, you can always order it on Amazon, and if you're lucky enough to have Prime like I am, you'll get it probably tomorrow. So love that. What's bad about that? So BPA is a big thing in my house, and it's a hot topic in my house. BPA is not only found in plastics, but also in cans. Lions, a lot of canned foods. So it's kind of important to be aware of what it is, where it is, and what it does to your body. And then you can turn around and make some really good choices when you're buying your food or any of your dishware. I've really gotten rid of any kind of plastics just because of that. So I've got Pyrex dishes for freezing and for reheating. I never microwave plastic or freeze plastic. It's just a really bad idea. So go read the blog post. There's a fabulous movie that there's a link to in the blog post called The Disappearing Male. If you have any boys, know of any boys, or have friends that could be pregnant with boys, this is something that you need to watch. It's free. There's a link to it on Vimeo. It's definitely worth the hour investment of really kind of looking to see what we're being bombarded with, what kind of toxins are out there. Don't want to go into it too much right now, but it was worth a blog post, and it's worth reading about, and it's worth watching. So head over to the itstartswithfood.com and you can read more about it there. I will have a resource. I'll put a link to the resource page for the water bottle if you're looking to get a water bottle and want to know what kind I use. I'll put that here in the link. But so water is the first thing. Let's get back to recovering from the holiday. My rant over. So holiday recovery, water first and foremost. Secondly, magnesium. I've talked about magnesium. I have a blog post about magnesium. It's one of the most crucial things that you can do to help your body recover during any time, not just holiday time. 80% of us are walking around magnesium deficient, and it can show up in a multitude of ways. If you're unfamiliar or this is the first time you're hearing me talk about magnesium, it is also a blog post, like I said, and it's also a What's Up Wednesday video. Totally worth watching. So when I know, like, this weekend has been stressful, it's been fun, but it's been stressful. So my normal magnesium intake, I have doubled. And it's really hard to have any kind of toxicity buildup because you excrete any excess in your urine. So, and by the way, it also attaches to excess vitamin D that you could have a buildup of. So vitamin D you can have toxic levels of. So magnesium is great for balancing that out. It's great for muscle recovery. It's great for stress relieving. It's great for sleep. It's great for pretty much every mood elevation. So this, like I said, this weekend has been kind of stressful. And so this will help with alleviate some of that stress and elevate my mood. So magnesium is definitely one of those things that I grab to and I gravitate towards, especially in times like this. I'm also today, since we've, like I said, had a long weekend, there were some alcoholic beverages. So today is my extended fast day. Normally, I fast anywhere from 16 to 18 hours on any given day. Sometimes it's a little less, sometimes it's a little more. Today is an extended fast day. Today I'll be fasting for a minimum of 24 hours. I may even push it to 36 hours, just depending on how I'm feeling. I need that to reboot my body. It's not because I necessarily ate anything bad. I did have a couple alcoholic beverages, like I said, but it's really more of a chance for my body to heal. If I've got food in my system, the first thing that the body does is expends all of its energy on digesting food. So in order to make sure that I maintain the utmost health, I'm doing an extended fast. With that fast, I'm drinking lots of water. I'm also having my fatted up coffee. I had that earlier. I'll probably have another one of those. It'll be decaf. And see how I'm doing. I'll probably have that about 5, and if I decide that I'm hungry, then I'll eat. If not, then I'll just kind of roll it over until tomorrow morning, and that's a great way for me to reboot. The other thing, too, is that when I do break my fast, I will be upping the fats, and that will help if I, like with the alcoholic beverages, they weren't sweet, but it can trigger that sugar monster and that craving in me personally. That's my experience. So one of the things that I do to combat that is when I do break my fast, I go for the extra fats. So that's why the fatted up coffee is really good for that. That's got the grass-fed organic butter in there, and I've got the MCT oil. I have an avocado salad that I made yesterday, which will be something that I'll definitely eat. I'll probably load up on that when I do break my fast. Anything that's got lots of fats in it, my fat bombs, those are great also, because if you've had any sugar or possibly have that sugar monster triggered, it's a great way to kind of combat that, fill that need for something sweet, and give you what you need to put the sugar monster to bed and be done with it once and for all. So those are 4 main things that I do when I'm recovering from a holiday weekend. I'm just very mindful of what I've done and what I need to do to get myself in a place of wellness and well-being. Again, I didn't go off the rails. I didn't stray from the keto diet, but I did do a couple things that I wouldn't do. Like, normally I don't drink, so this weekend there was some drinking, and there was a lot of pool time, and there was a lot of grilling out, and a lot of stress. So I need to be mindful of that for my body and really take care of this beautiful machine and make sure that I can continue to go full board, because it never slows down. Life rarely does. So it just seems like going from one fire to the other, and right now I need everything I have, because my Zero to Keto program just launched this week. If you're new to me and you don't know anything about it, over on my website I have an introduction, which is the Get Keto Clear. That's a 5-day email series, which kind of tells you a little bit more about what this is that I'm doing. And then for those that are ready to make that commitment, Zero to Keto has now been launched. It's 28 days. It's 4 weeks of information of me walking you through, baby stepping you through into this keto life. So there's all of that going on. And of course, I've got my clients, my one-on-one coaching clients that I'm also dealing with, and more programs I'm creating and more guides. And there's always something. So I need to make sure that I'm 100%. So in order for you to be 100%, if you are recovering and coming back from a holiday weekend, a couple of these things, really easy to do. Also, magnesium, very specifically, going back to that real quick, if you don't get a chance to read the blog or watch the What's Up Wednesday, on the resource guide as well, you will see the 2 different types of magnesium that I use. And I'm very specific about that too, because the body can only absorb so much of it, and it comes in all sorts of forms. So the chelated magnesium is one of them. The ionic is the other. I love the Calm. It's a powder. My kids love it. They're not great at taking pills, even though they're teen boys. They're not great at taking pills, but they love the taste of the Calm, so I can get them to take magnesium that way. So you can take one or the other or both. I happen to do both. So more information on the resource page. If you have any questions about any of these things, you can always hit me up here. You can private message me. You can reach out on the website. Until next week, I'll be back 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for What's Up Wednesday. Until then, take care.